Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and comment as you see fit.
I have been wanting to do not a tutorial, I guess I'd say, for beginning guitar players since the last time I went to a YouTube channel and tried to read or tried to listen to somebody showing me how to play a song that I wanted to play. And it's horrible. It's god awful. I had to stop. They slowed it down to the point where I couldn't even hear what they were doing. The teacher didn't really, well, the teacher, the person doing it didn't really explain that much. I don't know tablature. You know, if I take any song and I slow it down to the point where, I mean, note by note, I don't recognize it. Guitar playing is fun. It should be fun. And I don't find any, well, I find so many things that are horrible. Now, I want to take just a moment away from the usual hard charging stuff. And I just wanted to tell you a few things, like I would tell any of my friends on what I've learned in years of playing just for myself, for no particular reason. Not a professional, though I've played and was paid, but not for any particular reason. My wife will tell you, I play songs, I make up songs, I do a lot of things. I like to write filthy songs, bad rhyming patterns and the like. So I want to give you a few things before you begin, because I cannot emphasize enough how important it is for you to learn an instrument and how a guitar is great. I don't care who you are. I don't care what music you want to play. It's portable. With all due respect to drums and piano, you got to lug that thing around. This thing is so easy to have with you. Couple of things. Okay, first, number one, when you buy a guitar, spend some money. Spend some money and spend a little time. Now, I know that sounds like a kind of a no kidding, no duh type of observation, but it really is true. Spend a lot of time because you might not like the particular style or the size. This is a wonderful little. This is a kind of a Martin, the Shenandoah company. It's a Martin kind of a knockoff, but it's great. Works terrific. Find the size. Spend some time. Go into a Sam Ash or wherever it was. The greatest acoustic guitar place of all times was Mandolin Brothers on Staten Island. Stan J. I mean, it was wonderful. You could sit there, you could play. Every guitar is different. Every guitar is different. It's not, you get two guitars of the same brand, same model, same everything, completely different. That's number one. Play them. Don't rush into this. They're not all the same. If you're not going to like the sound of it, don't bother, because you're going to have to play this thing. How much do they cost? I don't know. $1,000, $500? Beats me. I have no idea. But today is the best time to buy because of different luthiers and different independent companies who came along and who have done some great work. So get something that also feels comfortable. If you're a kid, if you're a woman, if you're a big guy, a little guy, it's got to feel right. There are some guitar styles I don't like. Orchestra model, too big, too tiny. I just don't. You gotta feel right. This is like a Dreadnought series, almost like a D, to use Martin vocabulary in that particular. I like this style. Right, that's just for me. Now, don't buy a 12 string. Don't buy acoustic. 12 string. You know, you want to play Kumbaya? Great. You want to play in folk mass like we had in the Catholic Church in the 60s? Great. You want to do Leo Kottke? Don't buy 12 string. Don't even think about it. Not that you would, but if you are laboring under some kind of a drug and somebody says, yeah, buy a 12 string, don't. And also, don't buy nylon string. Don't do that unless you want to go directly into classical music, flamenco, bossa nova, that Joe Beam sound. Okay, that's terrific. There's a lot of pluses to it, but it limits at least for it limits the range of what you can play. But if that's the kind of music you want to play, go right to that immediately, obviously. For me, no. No. I mean, you can only play, quiet nights for so long, and then after a while, or flamenco or classical, but that's nothing wrong with that. But this is bronze string, bronze. That classical, not classical guitar, which is called classic guitar. But the usual, that. Hang on. That sound, that twangy, guitar. Bronze string. Next, your fingers it's gonna kill you. I don't play enough, and if I play for 10 minutes, immediately, damn. I mean, they hurt, and there's no way around it. No way around it. I don't know what to tell you, ladies, about fingernails or any of that stuff. I have no idea. But I'm telling you right now, it hurts. It hurts, and they will tell you, go with the nylon string. Nylon string's better. It's better on your finger. Okay, fine, but again, you're going to have that limited sound. Nylon string is a classical guitar. You know that, right? I'm not going to repeat myself over and over again, but there's a lot of stuff, very frankly, people don't know. So get ready for that. I'm telling you, no way around it. No way around it. You got to build up, not calluses, but I have played for the first time. One time a friend of mine was doing a song or an album or something, and he asked me to play on his recording session, and after an entire afternoon, the next day, it was like I had nerve damage. It hurt so much. So I'm just warning you. The pros who play every day, doesn't bother, and the more you play, it affects you. So I'm just telling you, because nobody on these tutorials are pointing this thing out to you. So get a good guitar, make sure it's the right size, try it out. You ready? I say go steel strings. Bronze strings. Bronze. Next, leave it out. Don't put your guitar away. If you put your guitar in a case, you don't play it. Get one of those little stands that you prop it up or you put it in the holder and leave it out and play it all the time. You watch TV, you're at home, pick it up constantly. Play it constantly. Right? Play it all the time. Whenever you can. Don't practice. I hate when people say practice. Practice sounds boring. It sounds like a sentence. Practice. No, don't practice. Play it. I'll get to that in a moment. But if you put it away in a case or put it in these zippered, you don't. You say, well, I'll get to it later. I'm busy. But if you have it on that little display stand, it's always there. And it always beckons you, because the more you play it, the better it is. All right? This is absolutely the truth. Now, why do you play it? Because the hardest part for a lot of people to realize at first is just holding it. Holding it, being familiar with how close your hand, you hit the strings wrong. It takes, I don't want to call it muscle memory, but there's this feel it's abnormal at first. Like, what is this thing? This big clunky thing. It's weird, and you are having to use two different hands. We have two hands, I hope, and they do different things. That's not it. It's because you're not familiar with this feel, this clunky wood. It's all of a sudden right here. This isn't. It's like whatever. And there's times when you're going to say, I don't know if I really like this guitar. I don't like this. Does it feel right? That's because you're not used to it. That's why you got to play it. You got to hold it. It's the only instrument you hold like a your wife or your baby or child. You hug it. You hug it. Everything else is away from you. Fiddle, away from you. Piano, drums, away from you. Violin, you kind of hold, but this is next to you, and this back part is against your heart. It vibrates. It's a different. I don't want to get too deep about that, but it's absolutely true. And guitars have to be played. If you took a brand new guitar, two brand new guitars, one you kept in a case for 100 years, let's say a Martin, which I still think are the best acoustics, maybe the older ones, but they're still pretty good, and strike it, a lot of great ones today as well. But if you put a brand new Martin in the guitar case, never play it, and you play the other one for 100 years, just 100 years, in 100 years' time, the one that you played will sound so much better because the wood vibrates, it hums, it creaks, it expands, it plays. You have to play it. Playing the guitar changes the sound. You got to play it. Just that way. Okay? Now, this weird thing about holding it is the biggest obstacle, especially also if you're a kid. It might be too big, it might be too clunky. Nobody talks to you about that. They always talk to you about chords and tablature. I don't even know how to do tablature. It's the thing about holding it. That's why familiarize yourself. If you can have somebody loan you a guitar first, kind of get a feel for it, you might like it. Some just feel great. Another thing which is huge, very important, the action. The action is the distance between the string and the neck. And some are so high that you gotta crush it to play, and it's uncomfortable, and you don't like it, and if you don't like it, you're not gonna play it. That's why you've got to find different ranges, different guitar styles, different guitar brands. Electric guitar is different. You see, I've completely eliminated the notion of electric guitar in the equation, which of course you can go to. It's not my cup of tea, but that's fine. You can do that as well. Nothing wrong with that. Start here, because you can't hide this. Best guitar players are also some of the best acoustic guitar players, because with electric, you do so many shortcuts, playing with sounds, and this is it. I mean, I can't do a whole hell of a lot to change the sound of this. I can do a few tricks here and there, but this is raw, okay? So the action, how far away are the strings from the neck? Because if it's not right, and when we get to bar chords, which we get up to here, it's really critical. So these are things you're going to want to have to talk to somebody about, preferably your salesperson. And also, the reason why I'm telling you this, the reason why it's so important is that I wanted to eliminate anything that gets in the way of you enjoying this, because the beauty of guitar playing is so much fun, okay, that I can't emphasize it enough. So guitar, get one that's not too cheap and not too expensive. Look out for the action. I like bronze strings. Okay, so now, up here. This little doohickey is the greatest invention of all time. This is a little tuner. This happens to be the Snark brand. Years ago, we never had these. We had tuning forks when I started out. We also had this weird clunky thing that we would put up to the sound hole, and this fits on your guitar. This piece here, whatever the hell you call it, and you turn it on, and you can see it. Maybe there's it's easy to keep into tune. You basically, you can't really see this, but you tune the guitar based upon what this says. You turn it on, you go to the first string, which is an E, and you move it up and down until that little thing lines up perfectly. And if you leave your guitar out, if you leave it out, depending upon where you are, here in New York, you will be amazed at how the strings contract and expand and how it loses its tune. And if the guitar is not in tune, no matter how much I think I can tune by ear, I can't. You need this thing. Best investment there is. Greatest thing ever. Always keep it in tune. And if it's not in tune, it sounds like crap. Okay. Next thing, investment, the capo. The capo changes the key. And it also makes it, I think, a lot of times more fun to play. So a capo, this tuning device, and now you're in business. Now, haven't gone to any of the chords or anything yet, but that's where we start off. Good guitar, good action. How often you change the key or the strings? Up to you. The strings sound great after they've been a little oxidized. They sound better. When you first get strings, bronze strings, they lose tune every 3 minutes because you're stretching them and because they haven't really set yet. And they have that twangy new sound to it. You might want to eventually have a guitar that has a pickup in it. This one has, where you can plug it into an amp, which you can do. You don't notice a lot of the sound of the strings as much. And there are subtle variations between certain brands, the Diodarios and Martins, and I kind of like the Martin Marquis. I like a light gauge, light to medium. I don't like heavy. I like light. When you go to your guitar store, don't be cheap, but they're not expensive, and they'll last, frankly, forever. When they get to the point where they start to rust, where you'll know they just need to be changed. Changing them, we'll do that some other time. I like to let the pros change it. There are all types of little tuning devices. You can get little string spinners that help you actually apply the string. Don't worry about it. So far, I just want it to be easy. I don't want you to say, nah, I'm not interested. Because believe me, once you find a song you like to play, and the best is when somebody says, hey, you play, huh? Do something for us. Learn a little riff. Fantastic. All you learn is the riff. And then you hand it back and say, I played enough. Translation, that's all I can do. Okay. Now, this is the most important part. I've watched these videos more than you can imagine. And I think they're horrible. I shouldn't say that. Of the ones I've seen, some are just horrible. They're so boring, or they're so slow, and I'm thinking, I know what he's saying, but God forbid some beginner starts, you won't know what this means. That's because people are very bad explainers. You're going to learn 3 chords to start off with, and you will be so happy. 3 chords. Now, I hope you like a little country, some folky stuff, some relatively popular music. I don't know if we can do hip-hop or madrigal singing on acoustic. I'm not sure. But if you like normal songs, D, C, and G, that's it. That's also virtually every country song that's ever been made or written pert near. These 3 songs, these 3 chords are so beautiful. And by the way, I like this. See, if I take this off, I can't show you this. There's nothing here. It'd be nice if I played the right chord. This is D. Right? So many songs start off with D. We won't get too much deeper than that. D. Here's the second one. And I'm not going to show you how to do it. You'll figure this out. C. And I play it differently, but it's okay. C. G. D. That's it. D, C, G. One of my favorite songs from Marshall Tucker. Can't you see? Can't you see? No, can't you see? Oh, can't you see what that woman been doing to me? Can't you see? Oh, can't you see what that woman been doing to me? Okay, that's it. D, C, G. Another one is the D, C, G. I'm telling you, you can go down the list. I think every song, including Ave Maria and Nessun Dorma by Puccini, is D, C, G, I think. Now, to make it even easier, I like to use this little capo. I like a different higher sound. Same thing, same chord, different key. Can't you see? Oh, can't you see what that woman's been doing to me? Now, one of the things that I want you to do, and we'll get to this later, but so far it's easy. 3 chords, we're going to master that. It might take you a week, it might take 3 weeks, I don't know. D, C, and G, that's it. But here's what I want you to do in the meantime. Nobody ever tells you this. It's kind of fun. I used to love to play air guitar, but with a guitar when I was a kid. I would play my guitar, I would put headphones on, those big Koss headphones, and listen to whatever I wanted. And I pretended that I was playing lead, or I was Santana or Terry Kath or whoever I was, and I pretended that I was playing that song. I want you to pretend. Put on headphones, and I want you to spend time. This is the hardest part. Just watch TV, because you will have to figure out how far to keep your hand away. You don't want to hit the strings. It's still this clunky piece of wood. I miraculously keep this safe distance because I've been doing it. You're going to learn that too. But I want you to learn the rhythm part. Or, because that's what this is. When you play, that's all you're doing. And this is the most difficult, or the more difficult, compared to the left hand. If your right hand, if you're left-handed, I have no idea what to do. Good luck. I don't know. But this. Another thing nobody tells you. How do you hold the pick? Watch Clapton, this is electric. Clapton, Santana. There are some great finger picking. Lindsey Buckingham, Toy Caldwell from Marshall Tucker played with his thumb only, and how he did it, it was a blur. It was amazing to watch that. He did that. Mark Knopfler plays with this. Some really weird. Who was it? Richie Havens played open tuning. I'll get to that later. He did some weird stuff. But most people play a pick or versions thereof. There are a few things, I think. Knopfler, Lindsey Buckingham, Caldwell, Jeff Beck. Comment below if you can think of another one. I've left somebody out. I loved the way Glenn Campbell played. He would do the pick like this, and this would be kind of a, that kind of, we'll get to that later. How you hold it, it's up to you. Some go like this, some go like that, some go up and down. I don't know. All different. I can see, if you just showed me their hands, I can pick out Clapton, just the way they do it. That's up to you. That's playing. Don't listen to anybody. Depends upon your hand, depends upon your what's comfortable. I kind of like this. I don't know what to tell you. But the only way you're going to figure that out is doing this stupid exercise. Do it alone because you'll drive people crazy. But put on headphones, and I don't care if you're not headphones. Listen to me. I'm so 60s. Put on earbuds and just listen to something you like, and you are creating more muscle memory and more connective tissue by doing that. And before we get to it, because nobody ever told me that, and I hate the way we had Mel Bay's book. Oh my God. I think everybody did Mel Bay. And these songs we learned, Claire de Lune or something. I mean, what is this? It was horrible. And I would ask my, guitar. I took lessons for a while. So, can you teach me something fun? Something I know? So that's nerdy too. Thanks to YouTube, DC and G, find some song you like, and you're gonna play, and you're gonna practice. Because I don't know what the hell Claire de Lune. I don't even know if it's called Claire de Lune. There's this thing I hate it. It's like I don't even know the rhythm. I don't know. I can't show anybody. Hey, guess what? I can play the minuet. But can't you see? Oh, by the way, that's DC and G. And within DC and G, and to be honest with you, because I shouldn't have done this, I had this idea today, this morning at the gym. I said, I'm going to do this because I was looking up a YouTube online for how to play something, and I thought, I've got to do this. But I'm a little rusty myself. But I kind of know. I mean, I can get back into it in a matter of minutes. By the way, little riffs. That Bill Monroe. See, it's on the tune already. See that? Have you ever heard this one? That's the C. And that little dun 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 dun, you only play in about 10 billion songs. Now, let me stop right there. This is not about showing you how to play these things. I'm a little rusty. Let me show you a couple of things too. Later on, if you want me to do more of these, let me know. If you don't, I'll stop. If you don't think I should do these, let me know. Like these things. But I want to teach you little things like hammer-ons. Rusty. Did you hear that? First time they tried to show me that, I said, what do I want to do these for? It's in every song in the world, the hammer-on. But I want to now, if you'd like me to show you this, if you don't, let me know. But this is what I want to show you ultimately. Stills did this, and others. Drake did it, Stills did it. The D-tuning, drop-down tuning. Hear that? It's not good. Hear that? I love that. Sounds almost like a 12-string-ish, but not really. Remember Find the Cause of Freedom? Later on, if you want me to show you this, again, I'm rusty. Muting. The more you get used to this, you can hit angles. You can hit your fingernail at an angle. You can use the palm of your hand to mute a chord. You can, God, there's micro movements like you cannot believe. Now, I love this. second. I know this is extremely boring, but aha. There's G. Hear that? I'm hearing a lot of buzz. Take that by shot. Okay. What I just did was I just tuned the two D's, the two E's to the D, and the A to the G. And the reason why this is important is that you can get some of the best sounds by using one note, two notes. This is off. Anyway, we'll get to that later. I didn't mean to get off course. Let me repeat by saying this very, very quickly. I'm not a professional. I'm not an expert. As you can see, I haven't picked this up. I'm sorry. I just felt inspired. I want you to be able to play this, but I don't want you to be victim to these people who don't tell you the kind of the truth behind this. I want you to get into the notion, into the idea, that most of what guitar playing is these little micro movements you never thought really applied or that ever mattered. They never talked to you about that. They never talked to you about things like the right guitar. Like right now, my fingers are killing me just by that little bit of playing. The strings are oxidized like you can't believe, but that comes with the program. That's okay. I'll be fine. I'm going to play a little bit more and then get back with you. But they never talk to you about how to hold it, how to practice without practicing. I can't tell you enough. Just playing along and just getting the rhythm part as you listen to a song that you like does more to create, how do I say this, connections and arm movements and how who's ever, you've never held anything like this before. And all of those little parts go into the practice, go into that playing part, go into the understanding of it. Later on, you get into these little subtleties, like I said about muting, tunings, holding a pick, the way you cheat, the way you get around little imperfections. Some people are just so great. I am obviously not great. But I've met people in my life where we started, one guy in high school, he started guitar after I did, way after I did. And he's a professional now. He just had this genius. Kids need to learn an instrument. Kids do. When you play something, you're taking nothing and you're creating out of nothing this syncopated rule, rhythm and time and 4/4. When you get into chords, and you get into minor chords, because life is a minor chord, not a major chord, it's a minor chord. When you get into the math, how by adding something, adding a note, a sharp, a flat, because it's positional, it's spatial, it's brilliant. Kids need to learn this. But the bottom line is you're not going to play unless you have fun. You're not going to do anything. And by the way, I got to tell you something. This is the most